can you be so stupid to say that the Jews have the only God?
I didn't say that I believed it. It's just that...
Listen to the two of you. Gods? You. Listen to these stories our ancestors stole from the Greeks? Gods under every rock? And you. Listen to these Jewish fantasies of a God that they don't even know the name of?
Well, next time you march off to war, tell me you're not going to call on Mars for protection. And how are you going to call on a God with no name?
Look, I never said I honored their God. I just find it interesting, that's all. I've listened to some of their teachers, and some of them are quite wise.
If they're so wise, why don't you ask them how we can get off this accursed punishment detail? Whipping prisoners will never let us retire in comfort. There's no glory.
No glory, maybe, but don't you ever get pleasure from hearing them scream?
That's sick.
That's power. Roman power.
Roman power, Marcus? Really? Laying open the backs of thieves and common criminals is your idea of Roman power?
It's discipline that holds this empire together. Trillius, without law and order, this whole thing falls apart.
I'm trained to fight the armies that would stand against us. You can stay in Jerusalem and be the law and order. Better yet, leave it to Artros here who wants to be a Jew.
And what's wrong with obeying orders? I seek only to do as I'm told, as a Roman soldier should. And if I can be a tool for Roman, then I don't mind spilling the blood of those who break the law. I'll end up back at home if I do as I'm told.
If you accept where you are, you might find yourself actually enjoying yourself. This isn't a bad place to be. People here already have laws to keep them pretty much in order. It's better here than trying to tame those Britons.
Well, the weather is nicer here, it seems. Harsh winters there. But Marcus, you would love it there. They say you can flog the hide off those animals and still they'll spit in your face. Even you can get your fill of Rome's master of discipline.
I never said this was my choice of duty, but duty it is, and I'll carry out my orders.
And meanwhile, satisfy those sadistic tendencies of yours.
Well, speaking of orders, do either of you have any idea why we've been called here this early? I mean, who do they need us to flog this early? And why all three of us? How many do they have?
I think we're about to find out.
Hail Caesar!
Are you three ready? They'll be bringing out the prisoner in a short time.
Only one prisoner, sir?
That's right, only one, a Jew. And he's got the governor's palace in an uproar. This isn't one of the rebel rousers. In fact, Artros, you should find this quite interesting, being interested in Jewish politics.
Oh? Is it one of the political cases?
Yes and no. It's a Jewish affair. Not really political, but more religious.
Well, who is it?
His name is Jesus, and the Jews are trying to put pressure on the gov.
Jesus? The Nazarene? There's been talk this past week.
With all due respect, sir, why are soldiers of Rome being called to handle Jewish law? Since when did they dictate who we flog?
He hasn't done any crimes against Roman law, but the Sanhedrians have been putting some heavy pressure on him.
And he's given in to a bunch of Jewish priests and scribes?
I don't know. Somebody seemed to worry about Caesar, that Pilate is against him. I don't know. I'm not paid to worry about politics or orders. I'm just paid to carry out mine and those that are beneath me.
Don't worry about me, sir. I'll carry out my orders. I don't care who it is or what they've done.
Be ready. I'll be back to give the official orders.
So, Artros, what do you know about this Jew? His name, Jonas?
No, it's Jesus. He's one of their teachers. Some say he's a prophet. Others say that he teaches heresy against their religion.
Who cares about their religion? That's the problem with Rome. We allow way too much freedom. Do away with these desert animals and crush that temple, and we'd have so much less to worry about.
But Trellius, this is how we're distinguished from the barbaric cultures. We allow our subject peoples a small portion of their own culture, and in return, we have much less to fear in terms of rebellion.
Never mind culture. You can't flog a man properly if you're worried about his culture or what God he prays to or how many gods he worships. Get it right in your mind. Are you ready to make a Jew scream? Are you ready to open up his back?
Are you questioning my capabilities as a soldier, Marcus? Because if you are, we can settle it here and now.
Whoa now, you two. Artros. Nobody's saying that you're a bad soldier. Are they, Marcus?
Of course not. You're a fine soldier, just maybe a little analytical.
Well, no one ever informed me that ignorance was a requirement for being a Roman soldier.
Okay, you're right, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's cast lots to see who gets the first crack.
Cast lots?
It makes no difference to me. Artros?
There's nothing like the first strike across virgin flesh. Are you sure you don't want to toss for it?
No, Marcus. You can have the first swing. There's no shortage of criminals here. I get my share of virgin flesh.
Marcus and Therelius, you two go get the flogging post ready. Artros will join you in a minute.
Sir?
Artros, what do you know about this man named Jesus?
Like I said earlier, I've never seen him. I just know he's a teacher of the Jewish religion. Quite extraordinary, I'm told.
Extraordinary? In what way?
This is all hearsay, of course. I've never seen him actually, but apparently he teaches with such boldness that he angers the Jewish establishment, and he preaches with such wisdom that they can never out-debate him on matters of their own law.
That's all you know of him?
As I said, it's all hearsay. They say he speaks with the authority that only a God would possess. They say that...
Yes, I know, but what about the healings?
It's all hearsay. Some say it's mass hysteria or simple tricks put over on simple beggars. Forgive my asking, sir, but why are you asking these questions of me?
I'm curious, that's all. Do you think you're the only one who has an issue with Jewish politics?
Forgive me, sir, but usually you're much more, how do I say, detached. And now you just seem, well, very much concerned about the life of a simple Jewish prisoner.
Well, you see, my wife's brother, he's a soldier in the North. He told me a story about this man who could heal anybody, and he has a servant who was dying. And he heard about this man named Jesus who could heal people, and the doctors and the physicians had given up on him. So he decided to leave his post and go to town to see if he could find this man. And this man spoke of a mile away. And by the time he returned home, his servant was healed. He had risen up from his deathbed and was walking.
There are many such stories circulating in Jerusalem right now. I've studied these people for 3 years, and for the life of me, I don't understand why they're so bent on his destruction.
Well, you see, my brother-in-law's been talking about resigning his post to follow this man. I told him to keep such talk quiet, because it's not good for a Roman soldier to be seen following a man. But after all, I don't think there'll be a man to follow anyways.
Oh, he'll heal up in a few months. He'll probably steer clear of Jerusalem, though.
Well, I received future orders. He's to be executed, crucified.
Come on, Marcus, we're gonna have a bit more fun with this one. You too, Artros, join in.
I'll pass, thank you.
Marcus, you'll enjoy this. The other men are going to join in with us.
Let him be.
Marcus, are you all right?
His blood, it got on me.
What about his blood?
His blood. It's on my hands.
It's on my hands, too. Why are you so upset?
You don't understand. He didn't scream. I hit him as hard as I could. I opened him up like a ripe fruit, and he didn't scream. His blood splattered on me.
We've had strong ones before. What's the problem? I've never seen you like this.
I hit him so hard that I nearly tore my shoulder out of socket. I couldn't make him scream. After all, Therelius had finished and they were leading him away. I looked over and he looked at me in the eyes. I tried to look away, but I couldn't. He looked at me and his blood, it was on me. Something in me wanted to explain that I was only doing my duty, that I was sorry. I tore his back to pieces, and he looked at me as if he had pity on me. I couldn't even close my eyes to stop looking at his face, and like I said, it felt like he had pity. With pity, we nearly flogged him to death, and he looked at me like he had pity. It's not right. Something's wrong with this. He can't be real.
You've got to be imagining that. He was in no shape to pity anyone but himself.
I'm telling you, just like I said, he had pity in his eyes. The blood was running down his body, and he had no fear in his eyes. I don't understand what's happening to me, sir. I've always enjoyed this duty. I've flogged hundreds of prisoners, and after all, someone had to do it. I've always derived pleasure from it. Didn't you see, Artos? This one was different. This was wrong. Why did we do this?
Why? You spoke not an hour ago of Roman discipline and duty.
He was no robber. He was no murderer. What laws of Rome did he break?
You know that we just carry out sentence. We don't pass law. The Jews themselves handed this man over.
You know these Jews, Artos. Why? Why did they send him for such treatment?
I could stay here all day explaining, and you still may not understand. I'm not sure I do. You're overtired, that's all. You just need some rest. I've got to prepare for execution detail. You'll get over this with rest. Don't let this Jesus get to you, my friend. He's just a man after all. That's it.
Just a man? Are you certain, Artos? Is he just a man? What have I done? Is he just a man, sir? And with all due respect, I can't go on with this punishment. And if it means my punishment, then so be it.
You just need some rest, son. I'll fill in for you at the execution. Just go back to your quarters and get some rest.
Thank you, sir. I'll make up for this. Is he just a man? They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. They were offered Jesus wine and drink, mixed with gall. But after tasting it, he refused to drink it. Then they crucified him. They divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down, they kept watch over him there. Above his head, they placed a written charge against him. This is Jesus, King of the Jews. 2 rebels were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "You were the one that's going to destroy the temple and build it up in 3 days. Save yourself. Come down from this cross if you're the Son of God." In the same way, the chief priests and teachers of law and the elders mocked him. He saved others. They said, "But if he can't save himself, he's the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross, and then we'll believe in him." He trusts in God. Let God rescue him if he wants him, for he said, "I am the Son of God." In the same way, the rebels who were crucified with him also heaped insults upon him. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over the land. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of those standing there heard this, they said, "He's calling Elijah." Immediately, one of them ran and got a sponge. He filled it with wine vinegar, put it on a staff, and offered it to Jesus to drink. And the rest said, "Now leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to save him." And when Jesus cried out again with a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. And at that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rock split.
Surely he must be the Son of God.